Welcome to the KNON Podcast, the story of Bobby Rush, blues, hip-hop, race, religion. In this segment, Bobby Rush discusses whether wisdom is learned or natural, emphasizing the importance of listening and sharing knowledge. He reflects on his life experiences, his role as a teacher through music, and the impact of his work on future generations. Bobby shares anecdotes about his roots, career choices, and the balance between the South's hospitality and its historical challenges. He highlights the deep connection between blues music and American history, stressing the significance of preserving this cultural legacy. Bobby also touches on his future plans and the lessons he's learned from his past.
So you are a good listener. Where does that come from? Is it learned or is it natural?
I said both. I learned to stop talking because I learned that early in my life that if a man tell what he know, he won't talk long because man don't know nothing. And I also learned that if you listen, you can learn. Then I also know that if you know something and don't tell it, that's bad too, because what happened to people who knows and don't tell it, they get whooped with many stripes. Because knowledge is not for the person who holds the knowledge. Knowledge is to pass it down to someone else.
Hear, hear.
That's what knowledge is for.
Yes.
It's not for you. It's to pass it down to someone else. Cause woe unto the man who knows better and don't do. He get whooped with many stripes. But again, you have to know how to displace what you know. You can't tell it forcibly like you want to boss someone or sound like you know it all. Just tell what you know in a helpful kind of way so to help the person who don't know or understand what you're saying to them can be helpful to them in life. You got to gradually spread it to them, not like maul them across the head, you know.
Have you ever taught in a classroom environment or to a group of people?
I guess I taught in my style and way and the things that I do. When I look back on it, people say, I learned so much from you, Bobby Ray, so I guess I am a teacher in so many ways. I look at that because I was telling Buddy Guy the other day that I think I'm the oldest blues singer around at this age, especially with 419 records. If I'm not the oldest, I'm the ugliest. So I win one way or the other.
Yeah, like that paper we talked about?
Yeah.
So yes. Professor Bobby Rush.
Yeah.
The Honorable.
But I think that comes from because I've been honored in the few colleges around with an honorary degree in Tougaloo College, Tennessee College, and our Grambling, and a few colleges around who thought enough of me to give me them honorary degrees. And that don't mean I know anything, just mean I run around. They respect me so highly. At least I'm smart enough to take it in and on it and thank them for it.
You know, I was working with Big Bill Morganfield on a show, and we were talking. He said when he was in college, he was in a course, and they started talking about his dad. And he ran outside and he called his dad, said, they're talking about you in the course I'm taking at college. Are you aware of any college curriculum that includes things about you?
Yeah. Vanderbilt now has something. I'm going up in a few days and do a show the first time in Vanderbilt, Tennessee, that is, Tennessee College. They got my archive in the college, and
they have your archives?
Yeah, and they're going to talk about that. And I went up to St. Louis to the museum, and they got a lot of things in the Missouri College. They also have in Tougaloo College where they honored me, and they have in Homer, Louisiana, the museum and the college there, school that is. They got a few places around. They honored me, and
are any of these schools using your book?
Yeah, two that I know of. It could be some other intellect schools that supported and have some in some fly in. When I said fly in, when I'm coming there, they would honor me and sell the books there. A lot of people know about me through different colleges and different schools and what have you, because I do a lot of work and do a lot of blues in schools. But I don't think it's no college, but 2 colleges that recognize the book itself being a part of the class.
Okay. When you do blues in schools, are you in front of a group of school children, or?
Yeah, I'm in a bunch of school children, but most of the time I've been in the class of other
college kids,
okay, and other teachers who teach in the blues. And most of the time, the guys who teach in the blues, sometimes they're teaching everything but the blues. They're teaching about music, but then sometimes it's not the blues per se. But nevertheless, if they have enough of respect to say blues in school, it's almost, I didn't say it was good enough for me, it's almost good enough for me. Because they recognize that the blues is the root or mother of all music. If you don't like the blues, you probably don't like your mama.
You don't like music. So when you're talking to a group like that, what piques their interest? When you look out at them and what is it you say that you register that they've got an interest in it?
I think they got an interest in, because when I get to the root of some dialogues, what they relate to so much. But then again, as you were saying, that Muddy Waters' son was they was talking in a class about his dad, which was Muddy Water. When the son called his dad, they're talking about you. I remember about 10 years ago, I was in Mississippi talking to a black school. My subject was on Martin Luther King and Medgar Evers. They knew about Martin Luther King. There was some kids in the class in Mississippi that know about Medgar Evers.
Oh, wow.
That hurt my feeling.
The schools are missing.
And it wasn't the kids' fault. It was the curriculum fault, because they was taking things out of the school intentionally so the black kids couldn't get the record about the black people.
Yes. Well, there's many challenges to the truth right now.
Yeah.
That's part of why we're doing what we're doing right now. That put the truth out.
That hurts. Because I tell you what, every time somebody or something come along want to take the information about the real truth out of the school, out of the minds of people, somebody come along and put it back in. That's what you're doing today. That's what KNON is doing today. Letting people know where it started, who doing it, who started it, who's still doing it, who plan to do it after the day, and who keeping this ball rolling about this music thing. It's the volunteer of the DJs and the volunteer of the people who listen to this radio station about the information that you give. It's a true information. We must keep the blues and music alive.
It is our roots of American music.
That's it.
And it comes from a true American experience. And as you mentioned about Edgar's, it's a time when there are people that don't want the depth of that experience to be shared, and you can't really understand the blues without understanding what a people went through to create those blues.
If you don't understand how it got to where it is now, do you won't understand the blues and the root of it. That when you said the root, that means the root, that's where it's come from.
Tree can't go without the root.
That's where it come from. And you one of the few stations that keep it real and they keep it alive. And the education that you giving people about the blues and about music itself and about the root of American music, my hats off to you guys. You've done a good job. You have did a good job, and you're still doing it. And it's not going to stop here, because I know your plan is, when we long gone off this land, that this music and direction will still be here. Because my plan is, Dave, is to do all I can, while I can. When it comes to time I can't do, then I won't regret what I did not do.
Exactly. I admire that, Bobby. And that's why we're doing these podcasts, because we've done the music for 40 years, and now we'd like to tell the stories behind the music and the artists who create this music so people can understand it even more.
The stories behind this will enlighten people and educate people, let them know where it come from, where it is, where it was, where it's going to be.
Right.
And it ain't going no place. Thank you for keeping the music alive. Not just the blues. I lean to blues because I'm a blues singer, but you're not just the blues, man.
It's the people's music.
It's the people's music. All form of fashion. It's the people's music. And the people do it, hey, from Maine to Mexico.
So I like to say there's not an emotion a human being's ever experienced that has not been expressed in song. And as long as people have emotions, there will be the song.
Oh, yeah. Speaking about emotion, I was sitting in jail, no one to go my bail. The police come in and said, put your lawyer in jail. Somebody tell me, what kind of justice could this be? You better take a good look at me right now, people. This could be the last time you see me. They got me accused of murdering. I never harmed a man. Got me accused of forgery and I can't even write my name. Somebody tell me, what kind of justice could this be? You better take a good look at me right now, people. This could be the last time you see me.
All right. Oh, man. Nice. So, have you done a lot of protest songs in your time?
No, I didn't do no protest song per se. But that was some serious thing that I have done, but people didn't take them serious because I'm so serious. When I wrote a song about my woman left me for the garbage man, I laughed about it, but it ain't funny. Not only your woman left you for the garbage man, if you left you for the insurance man, when she gone, she gone.
She's left you.
She left you. You know, that ain't funny. I just laughed about it. I put it in a joke way, but that ain't funny. I had a song that, not a protest song, but it's a serious song. It says, making a decision sometimes sure can be hard. Making a decision for yourself is different when you got kids involved. Making a decision about an old woman cry is different when your mama cry. Cause kisses and candy and hush don't cry. Don't make a grown woman smile. Lord, help me make the right decision. Making a decision about a juvenile cry is different when your own child cry. Making a decision about a rabbit that sits on the log. Making a decision about anything you walking in the water, including the toad frog. Making a decision about a juvenile, and you can talk about your child now. Making a decision about your mama. Now, we talked about making a decision about all these things, and I said making a decision about a president. Now, it's different from a small town mayor, because making a decision about love is different when you just don't care. I talk about things like that, but that can make sense. You can laugh and talk about a whole lot of things, but everything you laugh about ain't funny, because the same thing makes you laugh. The same thing makes you cry.
Indeed. Indeed. Bobby Rush.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Words of wisdom. Bobby, what part of the past should be in the future?
Well, I think the past, my past, talk about my future now, should be my future, because my past, I learned so much from my past. I often talk about when a man make a mistake and he know it, he or she can correct yourself. But when you make a mistake and don't know it, that's the trouble. That's the problem.
You can't correct yourself.
You can't correct yourself, but when you correct yourself and learn from it, it's really not a mistake. It's a stepping stone to what you should or should not do. So I think my future is now, because I learned so much about what I shouldn't have done. True. And I learned from it.
Okay. You had a barbecue joint in Chicago.
Don't talk about it.
Do you ever plan on getting in the restaurant business again?
If you don't get out of here, I put my little old dog on you, man.
Uh-oh.
I got a little old dog. I'm going to call him and stick him on you. No, I'm a good cook. I had this restaurant, and it almost ruined my career. When I say ruined my career, I opened this restaurant up. The second day I opened the restaurant up, at that time, I was doing about $1,500 to $3,000 a night in the restaurant. Well, coming from making
a lot of
$400
money.
or $500 a weekend, I'm making $1,000 a night in my restaurant. It almost put me out of business of entertainment, because I'm in a restaurant now doing $3,000 or $4,000 a week in my restaurant, and it spoiled me. And my family said, "Hey, forget about this singing thing, because you ain't making no money there. It's a restaurant." I could make sausage in I was making homemade sausage. I'm making the rolls and the whole bit, everything from hand, from the scrap of the meat and whatever, you know. And I did so well with it, man, but I was doing it hand on. Cause in mom and pop, it's when two people own a company, you control the profit and make a little profit, cause you got no overhead. You can also profit if you got a big enough to hire thousands of people's corporate business. But in between is a loser, because you're too big for one thing and not big enough for another. So mine was mom and pop. So I need to be there to cook Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so people eat. But if I cook Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, my music go to, I don't do the music. So I kill a few years and all, this got to go. I'm losing too much. I'm losing too many girls holler at me and say, "Hey, Bobby Rush." But I was making money with the restaurant, but I'm losing popularity because nobody knew about me playing music.
Enough.
You know.
So you chose music over the restaurant.
I chose the girls and said, "Hey," you know, any entertainer know what I'm talking about, because you get the feedback off of how people holler back at you, man. You know, how people wants to be around you and come sometimes they could be lying and say, "Hey, you was good tonight. You might have been bad, but they told you that."
So you still write songs with food?
Oh yeah, I'm writing some songs now. I'm gonna go back and cut some stuff, and I got some things I can't talk about now. I'm planning to do with some friends of mine, and if this come by, I think it's gonna be good. I'm going back out in a couple of weeks with Buddy Guy, with about 6 or 8 more days. Kenny Wayne Shepherd, I'm going back with him, do some dates with him, and And I got a lot of acoustic that I'm doing with the Mississippi, boy from Mississippi, the voices of Mississippi.
Okay.
But I think now in my career and what I'm going to do in my life now is just write some of the things I want to be, and talk about some of the things I want to talk about on a personal basis that I've been wanting to talk about all these years in time. I haven't been in a position to be freely to talk about these kind of things. Nothing bad. I'm just in a point now in my life where I want to do some things I want to do.
Yeah.
Talk about some things I want to talk about. It's a Bobby Rush time now,
So, Bobby, why did you move to Jackson?
Looking for my roots. I know that my great-grandfather from Jackson, Mississippi, who had 6 kids by his wife, 5 kids by my great-grandma, who was a white man and I came back in 1983 looking for my roots. Because my mother and my parents had always taught me, don't ever go back to Mississippi, because we were looking for someone to harm us as children, because we didn't know the real deal. But the man was looking for his children to divide land. So on my grandmama's side, I think it was 6 girls and 4 or 5 boys. And some of the boys who was older than the girl taking my great grandmama, who was the baby, next to the baby of my mom's side, taking to Eudora, Arkansas, and dropped them off at a barn. They raised themselves. That's how my dad met my mom from Louisiana. That's how I was born in Louisiana. But I came back to Mississippi looking for my roots. And I'll never forget, I went to Carthage, Mississippi. I went to knocked on this lady's door. I had her address. She came to the door, 80-something years old, creeped to the door. She said, "Son, I've been looking for you. You one of Maddie's kid, ain't you?" I said, "Yes, ma'am." Because I had rocks in my jaw. I was mad because I thought the way they treated my grandma. But when she told me that, she welcomed me, put her arms around me, and welcomed me in. I have never left Mississippi.
So, in the South, the people are so kind.
Yeah.
But yet, there's been so much ugliness, the polar opposite of that's come out of this. How do you juxtapose those things? I mean, the real South is good people.
You don't justify, because I was mad with the South because the way I thought they treated my mom and my grandmother. But when I talked to this lady, she was eager to do right about them, as my granddad was a great-grandfather was eager to do right about his children. But that wasn't the picture we have. And we still get this negative picture of the southern state, especially Mississippi, by being some bad racial place. I'm not talking about racial don't go on, but it's not as bad as people perceive it to be, because of the way they paint it to be. Because it's bad everywhere, even,
Well, you were talking earlier about the Midwest.
Yeah.
And just the overt racism up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And I think when you said that, it really underscores that the South gets the billing on all that, and justifiably some horrible things happen. But America as a whole isn't off the hook.
No. I remember going to Los Angeles about 35, 40 years ago, doing the B.B. King Club in Los Angeles when they first opened it up. I was doing a grand opening for B.B. King. And I was playing for a show that night, and there was a black man who runs the club. I was sitting at the door with my blue jeans on like I am now. He said, "Hey, sir, who you waiting on, Bobby Rush?" I said, "Yes, sir. I'm waiting on Bobby Rush." He didn't know who I was. He said, "Them guys from Mississippi, I bet they got cow boo-boo on their shoes." I said, "They probably have." So when I went to dress to go up on the stage, he didn't see me. When I come up on the stage, I came out in a white suit or whatever I had on. Didn't look like the same guy was sitting at the door. He said, you Bobby Rush? Were you sitting at the door? I said, no, I wasn't sitting at the door. I convinced him it was not on me. So I went on this bandstand and came back. He said, man, you are Bobby Rush. I said, yes, sir. He said, man, you damn good to be from Mississippi.
What'd you tell him?
I said, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Because he was referring to like being from Mississippi, and I was that good. How could a black man be this good from Mississippi? You know, here's a black man talking to me. And he said, damn, you good to be from Mississippi. Well, so the Mississippi, not only just Mississippi, the southern state as a whole, get trumpeted about things by bad names. I'm not talking about they good, but some of the things just ain't true.
Well, there's bad in the South. There's bad, but
not
there's
like
bad everywhere.
Not like they painted. So that's the kind of thing been painted on Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. It's been painted on a lot of things, you know. But it's almost like the radio station here that we're talking from. You may not like every musical or record that the DJs play, but they plays everything out of their heart, what they think you will like, and they do the best they can for picking the best of the music out of the best. You know, if you got 100 records to play, you're not saying them all good, but you try to pick the best out of the 100, you know?
Yes.
That's what you try to do.
Yes.
And you try to fit that in with the average person. Everybody won't like it, but if you get the average, you okay.
Yes.
Everybody don't like cornbread and peanut butter, but I do.